Hi everyone, Mike the MC, bringing another self-care video, and things are looking up now. Things are looking up because the other day, right, I think I mentioned it in the other video where I realized I have a provisional license, and I realized, wait a minute, I can still use that to help me still work with finding a job and getting things moving forward. I talked with the boss from one of the schools, and he said, yeah, totally. In fact, even that's very common among social workers. So I'm like, yes. So it's not over yet. Not over yet. So yes, can balance the social work with the life coaching and with insurance. And now the thing is okay. And with this, the YouTube. So now things are starting to move forward. Things are starting to roll. Now I'm feeling really, really well. Feeling much, much better. And so the theme of the video today was, okay, how do you balance the difference between life coaching and social work? And I think as far as people bringing things up about the criticisms of life coaching, they are very valid, because the thing is, it's not therapeutic. Life coaching is really much on the idea of the client having a lot of all the power, essentially. And as a life coach, I listen, and we're just going through the stories, the situations, whatever it is the client brings to the session. And really, I'm just listening. I'm just seeing, okay, if I hear this, what about that? All right, I feel that emotion. What's behind that? And I'm just trying to find, okay, what is really the reason behind all of these actions? And then to say, okay, we see your values, we see your beliefs, we see your mission statement, we see all those things. Okay, what about we work together to aim for this in the future and all these other things? So it's really on the person-to-person level, the life coaching, which is one thing I like. Now the social work aspect, okay, there we bring into diagnosing. We bring in the documents and papers you would have as far as diagnosing, intakes, checklists, okay. But the thing here is, it really puts the social worker in a very different dynamic compared to the client, where the social worker really should listen to the client always, but the social worker does have the ability to reference material and different resources of information for a person's diagnosis, reasons why they're struggling, habits, negative addictions, etc. And so to balance the two of the therapeutic with the non-therapeutic, I think that's a great balance and a good way to separate the two together, or separate them from each other. So that way, okay, if I want a life coach, okay, I'll talk with them about on anything. If I want some prescriptions, if I want a diagnosis, I'll talk to the social worker. So that's one advantage I'll share with you all through this media, from me to you, why it's so powerful now, the things that I'm doing now to really start advertising. So now by advertising, getting out to the public, that is a fun experience, a fun statement, where I can bring it in from the life insurance, the financial professional side. Here it's like, okay, you want to have a pipeline of clients. You want to bring people in so that way you can have a business in the long term. So that way, okay, if you have a plethora of clients, and you're like, okay, I'm sustainable, I can move forward. But people are sharing, more referrals are coming out. That's the idea from the business financial side to the other parts. It would be cool to be private for the life, or for the social worker side. Now, as a life coach, yeah, that's true. The life coach has certificates, right? But the social worker has a lot more, you would say, they are official, but you would say they're more rigorous in that regard. Now, life coaching does have exams, and they do have quizzes and such for being professional and getting so many hours of counseling with other people. So there's a different set of criteria. But the thing here is, if you could separate the therapeutic from the non-therapeutic, and you could say, okay, do I need the life coach or do I need the therapy for my drugs and prescriptions, right? Do I need them for ways of dealing with my anxieties and my stress and pain? Okay, that's the key difference. And so for me to you, I feel like if that's a good definition of the difference between the two, I hope that makes sense. But I think another thing I can bring up with this video is, when you are talking with somebody who's like, oh, okay, I'm all for life coaching, forget the social work, or a social worker, oh, I'm a social worker, forget the life coaching. I feel like there's something lost right there, because I feel if you are versatile to talk to both sides of the coin, and you're able to say, okay, I need therapy, but I also need someone to talk to just on basic common sense in life. I just want a conversation and I want someone to listen. Isn't that nice for the life coach and the social worker to balance each other out? I think that brings a lot of credibility. And so then when you look at your reading materials, you look at the information as far as counseling, sessions, therapy, coaching, clients, etc., you can put all those into perspective and say, okay, where are my strengths with one profession, where are my weaknesses with the other, and so vice versa, how they can help you become a better person as a whole. And I think that is the key when you're learning all these different professions. But when you're able to define the differences between one side of the coin from another, that's going to make you very trustworthy. You're able to share experiences that you've had with clients on both sides of the coin, and you're able to build credibility. The credibility to say, hey, I can work with you either from a therapeutic side or non-therapeutic side. And if you like our sessions moving forward, let's keep going. Let's keep going. But I will say the difference of payment is also another key. Where the life coach, okay, you can charge initially. I was just reading from my manual the other day where, okay, you can initially start $50 to $100 per session. Where with the social worker, right, you could be working for a company, tax, benefits, and all those other parts of your regular working hours come into play. But then you think, okay, if I want to go private with the social work, that's a whole other thing where you do need the insurance. So that's the thing. You have to look at your pros and cons of every profession. Look at how your strengths work with each one and your weaknesses as well. What kind of clients you want to work with, how you want to talk to people. And when you have all those dynamics working for you, it can make you very versatile to have a conversation with somebody, to listen, to suggest a diagnosis, to bring to light, hey, you, sir, ma'am, I think you can benefit if you went with this sort of intervention. What would you say? Or you're feeling negative, feeling a little anxious. How about this as part of your safety plan? So that way you don't go ahead and end your life, right? You just want someone to talk with? All right, let's put that as part of the safety plan. Who is your go-to person when you're feeling anxious? And so that's the thing. Life coach and social workers can work together. And I hope being a bridge for all of that to share from me to you, that could be a great thing. And so I'm hoping this channel evolves now, knowing that I can now work with a provisional license. So maybe that's going to change this channel a little bit to where I can now bring in a lot more things and really move forward with the intent of this channel as far as you building a business, several even, and becoming the one in charge of your life, but then putting your faith and trust in someone greater than you, so that way that guidance can guide you forward. Remain humble and always think about what you can do to keep that humility in your work, so that way it's not about you, but it's about the person and the people, families that you are supporting and made a difference for. So with humility, learn the differences between the definitions of professions, and you will be a very, very reliable professional in your community. All right, everyone, I hope this one finds you well today. The difference between a life coach and a social worker. And I hope you all don't give up on yourselves. Keep working. Find your niche. Find your professions that you like. Know how to define them. When you're talking with somebody, a client, that explains to the client what you're capable of and what you are looking for in the client. Maybe things that can prompt them to say, hey, I know people that can use your services even. I'll refer them to you. And that's another powerful way of building a business. So getting specific on the populations you're serving can make a difference, and I think that'll take you a long way. All right, everyone. Hope this one finds you well. Take care. Have a good one.